Welcome to Michelle's Making. Hope you're ready for coffee, crafts, cookies, and cocktails. Let's get going. Welcome and welcome back to those of you who are returning. I really do appreciate it. We're getting going with some coffee this morning. Funfetti Creamer is the creamer of the day. Things to celebrate. We've got National Road Trip Day. Well, I have many fond memories of road trips as a young child, as a young adult, and even in recent years with some great girlfriends. National Cooler Day. Well, you need a cooler packed for those road trips, right? National Brisket Day. Yummy barbecued brisket. Delicious. Beef Burger Hamburger Day. So throw those burgers on the grill and enjoy, because it's National Don't Fry Day. It's Friday, but National Don't Fry Day. So throw things on the grill, bake it in the oven, use an air fryer. Celebrate that way. We're going to make some refrigerator cookies, a craft, and finish things off with an adult beverage. Let's get going on our day. Today we're going to make some delicious refrigerator cookies. For this base recipe, you're going to use flour, eggs, butter, vanilla, granulated sugar, brown sugar, baking powder, salt, and the stand mixer. My additive today is crushed pistachios. You're going to begin by creaming the butter. Cream it well, add your sugars, continue to cream, add your egg, continue to cream, and add vanilla and continue to cream. Now remember, this is the basic starter refrigerator dough. You can add a variety of additives, and I'll put some suggestions in the description box along with the complete recipe. You'll want to scrape your beater and your bowl regularly to make sure everything is well incorporated. As I've mentioned before, I really like the taste of vanilla in baked goods. So I typically will add twice the amount of the recipe, sometimes even 3 times the amount that the recipe calls for. You're going to add your flour mixture a little at a time, mixing well in between. Now remember, sifting together all your dry ingredients, baking powder or soda, salts, flour is important. If you don't have a sifter, just stir it together with a fork until it's well mixed. The great thing about this refrigerator dough is that it can be made in advance, and you can cook just a few cookies at a time, maybe a dozen at a time. It's kind of like those refrigerated tubes of dough that you can get in the grocery store. And with the additive, you can put the additive in half of it and refrigerate that, and then put a different additive in the other half. Once it's well mixed, you'll put in your additive. And as I mentioned today, I'm adding crushed pistachios. Once your dough is well mixed, you'll take a sheet of saran wrap and lay it out on the counter. Next, you'll lay the dough out along the length of the saran wrap and begin to form a log. You can do this by shaping a little bit with the spatula or knife, and then roughly wrap, or lightly wrap really, the saran wrap, and roll it back and forth, and repositioning the saran wrap as needed as you're rolling to form the log shape. I actually got this recipe from delish.com, and I'll put the link to the recipe in the description box. Once you're happy with the shape of your log, you'll twist up the ends and refrigerate the dough for at least 1 hour. Line your cookie sheet with parchment paper. After the dough is chilled, you unwrap it and you'll slice about a little less than a half an inch thickness. and place them about 1.5 inches apart on the cookie sheet so there's room to spread while they're baking. I'm only making 1 dozen cookies today, so I'm going to wrap up the extra dough and put it away for another day. These cookies bake in an oven heated to 350 degrees until they're lightly golden brown around the edges. And there you have delicious pistachio refrigerator cookies. Our craft today is a Scrabble Message Board. Now, I've actually seen these done on various Pinterest sites or even for sale at craft shows. And I picked up this Scrabble game at a yard sale for $2. So I figured for that I could probably make this. I began by pulling out letters to make my message. And as I was pulling out the letters, I realized I didn't have all of the letters I needed for the words that I wanted to form. But I had actually several other containers of Scrabble letters that I have saved over the years and accumulated. They looked a little bit different, so I just kind of mixed that up a little bit so that it looked like that was intentional rather than just 1 or 2 letters. I then glued the letters onto the board using E6000. And I'm going to build a frame for it using 2 different size paint sticks. The portion of the frame that you're going to see is made out of a thicker paint stick, which I spray painted using my 2X Rust-Oleum satin paint in a dark walnut color. To hold the frame to the Scrabble board, I'm using a different paint stick that is thinner, and I'm going to glue half of it to the Scrabble board and the other half will be glued to the frame that I spray painted. My handy dandy pink clips that I had picked up at Dollar Tree came in handy here. These thinner paint sticks were exactly the right length for the top and the bottom, and then I cut 2 of them shorter for each side. I forgot to mention that I had trimmed down the thicker paint sticks as well. I used Gorilla wood glue. You can see here I applied the wood glue to the exposed part of the thinner paint stick and then adhered the thicker painted paint stick frame. And here I'm checking to make sure that it's centered properly, the width of the paint stick on each side. For the top and the bottom, I was able to use my handy dandy pink clamps. Once that had dried, I glued the sides on and weighted them down with a couple of containers of paint. because the pink clamps aren't quite wide enough to go in from the corner the entire width of the paint stick. And there you have it. And you can see how the back looks with the paint sticks glued together. But that's our Scrabble message board. Now it's time to wrap things up with a cocktail, a delicious strawberry melon margarita. We'll make this delicious drink in a shaker using melon liqueur triple sec, Jose Cuervo ready to drink strawberry margarita mix, and vodka. As always, the complete recipe will be in the description box, but it's very simple. You add all of the ingredients to the shaker with ice, and shake, shake, shake. Pour it over ice into a margarita glass. Garnish with a few strawberries and enjoy a delicious strawberry melon margarita. Well, folks, that's it for another week. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I really appreciate that. If you haven't already, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, share with your family and friends, and help the channel grow. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know what you've liked of the things that you've seen, what you haven't liked, what you want to see. Give me some ideas and suggestions for the future. I appreciate that. Let's make it a great week. Don't forget to take time to stop and smell the coffee, and I'll see you next Friday.